Later, Dr. Tracy and Paula are in trouble as poachers visit their camp. Can Clarence the cross-eyed lion come to the rescue on Daktari at 9? But first, the Thamesmen.
So exciting!
Oh dear me! Welcome.
Oh, I just sat on my headphone thing and it nearly pulled my head off. Hello, welcome. I'm George. I'm in Los Angeles.
I'm Alex, and I am in Dallas at the moment. That's why it's a bit slightly dodgy. And welcome to the Thamesmen, you fine lover of music.
Yeah, and you are a fine lover of music because this week it is curated week and it's the Irish week. So we're on day 3 of Irish Week, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, and it's been absolutely fantastic. So this is Curated Weeks. Excuse me, I'm going to cough because I'm still ill. Curated Weeks are put together by more knowledgeable people than ourselves, and this one's been put together by Mr. Richard. He's a friend and a subscriber of ours, and he is a Irish national
chap. Yeah, he lives in Ireland,
yes,
doesn't he? Yeah,
he does.
So, and he knows his music, so he's been very kindly curated this week for us with some mighty fine notes, hasn't he?
Well, this is the title's going to give it away, so I'm pretty sure most people can read these days. But it's Pogues, and a disclaimer: we're going to read the notes out. These notes were done before he had passed away. So we haven't checked the notes or whatever, but it's going to reference it to It's not going to mention about the passing.
Yeah. Well, we can. We just done. You just did it. Didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. I think you got that covered. Have you got that covered?
I think
we
got that
covered.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we did a Pogues track a couple of weeks ago for Christmas, didn't we? We did that Kirsty McCall, who I found out on reading had a tragic ending.
Why?
Did you not see that?
It's not the one with the motorboat and the scooter.
Yeah, exactly. Some rich guy in a speedboat who then blamed his driver or something like that, and it was all like, it was a real and she sort of pushed her son out of the way and saved her son, and it was like tragic.
Yeah, they came up from
awful.
scuba diving, and then she that's pretty sad.
Yeah, that was very sad. So
anyway,
on that happy note. So we're going to do the first track. We're going to do actually today. It's bonus day. With 2 tracks. So, and actually the second one is going to appeal to our Australian brethren.
No.
So,
it's all about beer. The disclaimer: I have seen the Pogues play a couple of times. Mm-hmm. Only know one of their tracks, obviously the Christmas track. Don't know anything about the Pogues at all. All I do know that our friends who are more educated in music than we are, especially the art of songwriting, absolutely rate the Pogues up there.
Yeah, I went and saw they came to LA like maybe 15 years ago, maybe or so, and I saw them play. And a friend or a acquaintance of mine was the tour manager for the Pogues, and he had tales of the only way to get Shane MacGowan out of his room was he had to go knock on the hotel room with like a bottle of booze, and that was his breakfast, and that was how he got him out of his hotel room, sort of thing. So
sad, really, but
well, he had a great appetite for those things.
Well, all the singing made him really thirsty, didn't it?
It did, exactly. You've got to stay hydrated, particularly in LA where it's very dry.
It's absolutely, probably the best thing he could do for him.
Exactly, yeah. Maybe you should be doing that for your cough, Like
I know.
A bottle of, you'd be good.
Just take the McGowan cough mixture.
But I don't know if you could handle it. Really, you're not
really.
No,
not man enough.
I didn't say that. Shall I read the notes?
Yes, please.
Do you think? Yeah. Well, let's see what Rich has got in store for us today. So we're going to start off with A Pair of Brown Eyes. Actually, it's going to be a live version of that. We're going to see, and it said. Although Shane MacGowan was brought up in England, he spent most of his summers in Ireland as a kid and always identified as Irish. For me, they kind of represent the Irish in the UK experience. Massive parts of London still have strong Irish identity. They were formed in King's Cross, London in '82 as Pogue Mahone, an English version of the Irish Pogmathion. So apologies for my pronunciation, which translates, as we found out earlier, as "kiss my ass," which I think is fantastic. In the 80s, traditional music from all around the world was becoming very popular, particularly African and South American music. The Pogues realised that they had a long tradition of their own, which they could mash with punk attitudes and sensibilities and bring it right up to date. With years of British colonisation of Ireland, this was a political act in itself. But more importantly than that, I think Shane MacGowan was a genius lyricist and poet. The storytelling and imagery in his songs are just beautiful, and it's timeless. It feels like it could have been written hundreds of years ago and fitted seamlessly with many of the traditional covers they did. His voice, though not classically great, carried so much soul and emotion. He means and feels every word in his performance. They are so cool too. Spider smoking a cigarette in between his tin whistle bits. Yeah, there was drinking and drugging, and it all went a bit pear-shaped. But this is them on the rise, one of the most important Irish bands ever, who totally inspired following generations to embrace their heritage and be proud.
Wow. Well written there, Rich. Absolutely fantastic. And he's right. I mean, remember the Chieftains, obviously, and then there was Afro-Celtic band. And they're all post-Pogues, aren't they?
Yeah. So, it was an interesting time in music, and London had a hotbed of this stuff.
Maybe they're to blame for the bloody Proclaimers.
The 500 miles.
Exactly.
So, yes. Yeah. All right. Should we do this?
Yes.
A Pair of Brown Eyes, The Pogues. Are you ready, sir? And remember, like and subscribe, please. Sorry, I was just saying, I'm remembering to do it early. Because no one's there at the end. Like and subscribe. Okay, I'll get on with it. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Got a pair of brown eyes. 1, 2, 1. One summer evening, drunk to hell, I sat there nearly lifeless. An old man in the corner sang where the water lilies grow. And on the jukebox, Johnny sang about a thing called love. And let's how are you, kid? And what's your name? And how would you bloody know? And blood and death make the screaming sky. I lay down on the ground, and the arms and legs of other men were scattered all around. Some cursed, some prayed, then cursed, then prayed, then bled some more. And the only thing that I could see was a pair of brown eyes that was looking at me. But when we got back, labeled parts 1 to 3, there was no pair of brown eyes waiting for me. And a roam, and a roam, and a roam, and I'll go for a pair of brown eyes. Saw the streams, the rolling hills where his brown eyes were waiting. And I thought about a pair of brown eyes that waited once for me. Sad drunk to hell, I left the place. Sometimes crawling, sometimes walking, and the hungry sound came across the breeze, so I gave the walls a tug. And I heard the sounds of long ago from the old canal. And the birds retreat, where the wind was gently laughing, and a roving, I'll go, and a roving, I'll go, and a roving, I'll go, for a pair of brown eyes, for a pair of brown eyes. And a roving, I'll go, and a roving, I'll go, and a roving, I'll go, for a pair of brown eyes, for a pair of brown eyes.
Wow.
That's as like traditional as you can get in so many ways, isn't it? You know?
Absolutely, and also to those who don't speak English, our subscribers, I also didn't understand a bloody word.
I did. You could if you're really zoomed in, really focused in on it. You know?
Yeah, no.
He sang about a pair of brown eyes.
He
I
did.
believe.
Were they rowing
Yeah.
to the brown eyes?
Were they rowing?
And he rowed to the brown eyes.
I missed that bit. Sorry.
Oh, no, that was the main chorus, and he repeated it like 50, 60, 70 times.
Okay, I wasn't really paying attention to that bit, but yeah.
Anyway, for those who don't speak English, it didn't matter.
No.
It was more about the authenticity, I suppose.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like, do you remember that pub we used to go to in Oxford, the Bullingdon
Yeah.
Arms? Which was a sort of they said it was like the home of the IRA, and it was like an Irish pub, but it had the lock-ins, it was so Guinness, and it often had Irish folk bands in the back corner playing away, and you could expect to hear something like that, and the sort of the line between punk and folk is a very interesting line, I think. There, you know,
Well, it's a cigarette by the looks of it. The guy on the penny
tin
whistle couldn't give a flying monkeys, could he? He just wanted his cigarette. He was absolutely pissed off.
Oh, what's going on out there?
I'm in Dallas at the moment.
Another no.
Yeah, so it's just a normal night in Dallas, you know.
Normal night in Dallas. Okay, we'll cut that out later. But anyway, if you didn't hear the sirens as they went
Well,
past
it's when you
Alex's
start seeing
window,
the flames behind me, you know,
the
just
alarm goes off,
wave your arms.
or the SWAT comes through your door,
God,
and they'll be like,
Being finally swatted by my children.
Exactly, where are you, Dad? And we've sent them to find you. But I thought it was great, really good. And like, it is, you know, they were just such a great, authentic band, you know. And it just, you know, the drummer was two toms, floor toms, and just pounding out a rhythm. You know, it wasn't like a full old drum kit. It was, you know, but they could do a punk show in that way. You know, it was amazing.
Yeah, he was very Maureen Tucker. On the drums, and it was great. Yeah, absolutely. And here we are in Irish Week, being represented by the Pogues. I mean, totally, authentically Irish there.
Yeah, fantastic. It was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, go back to the guy on the tin whistle, and you know, his ability to smoke while playing, you know, like smoke coming out of the little pipe holes, you know.
Tucked it in the end. And like,
well, then sucked
yeah,
on
exactly.
on the
and
flute.
then when he played it like that, you know, he could have gone double dragon out of his nose as well, you know, in between. He was missing a trick there.
He did give some funny side eye, like, oh, fuck, I don't do this again, kind of thing.
He really did, in his suit. You know,
but it is literally a dying art of like musicians smoking on stage, because no one does it anymore. Do you remember, like, the guitarists would be like, you know, they'd poke their cigarette into their headstock, you know, and then the whole thing would just burn down. It's just like, come on, hurry up and finish this song so I can get to my cigarette.
If you haven't noticed, it's a dying art anyway. They've moved away from cigarettes. They moved away from cigarettes, and they've moved on to ice watermelon USB sticks.
That sounds awful, really.
No, I don't know.
Have you tried one?
No, I've never tried one, but it was just the fuck. Excuse me, we're getting way late, but the fuckers. Just when smoking was in decline, right, and it was going down, they came out with watermelon cappuccino, and then you can't fucking beat watermelon cappuccino, can you? Poor people.
Yeah, no, it's keep the people hooked and keep the people addicted, and you're good, aren't you? So
That's our social rant over.
well, but now we're gonna move on to our bonus track, aren't we?
We are,
which is another Pogues track, but it is it's has an Australian link to it, doesn't it? Because it is
Waltzing Matilda.
And the band played Waltzing Matilda.
Is that an Australian song, or is it an old traditional song taken to Australia by the Crims?
Well, funny you should ask, but we have some notes which might just answer your question.
Absolutely.
Shall I do that before you get us into any more trouble? Get us cancelled again? Okay, so it's written by a Scottish-born Australian songwriter, Eric Bogle.
Australian.
He's Scottish-born, but he's Australian. The song details a young Australian soldier signing up to fight in the Great War and surviving the disastrous Gallipoli campaign. It draws a contrast between the celebratory departure to war and the silence upon returning. It has been covered by many artists. The Pogues were much loved in Oz, showing many feelings about their British colonisers, and often toured with Oz band, weddings, parties, anything. They added this onto their second album. So it is a classic sort of folk Australian song. I think I saw it I went to the Tamworth Country Music Festival in 85, 86. And they had some great names there. There's a band called the Bushwhackers, or was a band called Bullamakanka. And I think one of them did it as well, so it was great.
Excellent. And I suppose the Australians and the Irish do have a lot in common in terms of,
pissed off with the English.
Yes, absolutely. That's a nice way of putting it. Just absolutely hacked off with the English.
Yeah. No, I have no idea why. No. But anyway, should we check out? And the band played Waltz, and this is a performance from 1985. So, are you ready, sir?
Count me in.
3, 2, 1, go.
When I was a young man, I carried my pack, and I lived the free life of a rover. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, I was my Matilda all over. When in 1915 my country said, son, it's time to stop rambling, 'cause there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun, and they sent me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as we sailed away from the Cape. And amidst all the tears and the shouts and the cheers, we sailed off for Gallipoli. And those who were living did their best to survive, and that mad world of death, blood and fire. And for 7 long weeks I kept myself alive, all the corpses around me piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me earth over twice, and when I awoke in my hospital bed, I saw what it had done. Christ, I wished I was dead. Never knew there were worse things than dying. And no more round the Waltzing Matilda, so the green bushes so far and near, for the handstands and pegs and my knees both legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. And now every April I sit on my porch and I watch the parade past the fort. I see my old comrades are proudly they march, reliving the dreams of past glory. I see the old man, all twisted and torn, the forgotten heroes of a forgotten war. When the young people ask me what are they marching for, and I ask myself the same question. And the band plays Waltzing Matilda, and the old man still answer the call. But year after year, their numbers get fewer, so like no one will march their return. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, go waltzing Matilda with
Was the cough at the end the tin flute player?
Yes, what's his name? Spider. And,
He, I never seen such a depressed tambourinist. He actually
was
just
like,
oh, fuck. He put the cigarette in.
No.
I thought he was going to play the whistle, but no. He was like, yeah.
a man loving his job. He's like
born for it,
yeah.
wasn't he?
He's like, I'm not going to pick up any birds after this because I've heard the tin whistle or
I
the
don't think-
tambourine. Why can't I play the
I don't
guitar?
think any of them were going to pick up any birds after that. You know what I mean? There weren't any birds in the place. And they really were kind of, just absolutely fed up all round, weren't they?
Well, that's part of the thing.
know.
But it was great. I think it's a very iconic song,
Yes.
and it's very like the whole story of Gallipoli and what happened to the Australian army there was pretty bloody tragic, and so that song is like is part of I think part of Australia's DNA almost,
Right.
and it's like an anthem of sorts. So,
And again,
but
much authenticity when they sang it. It was just like you felt the kind of the pain with it,
Yeah, I mean, Shane MacGowan for your inability to always understand everything he said. He has the ability to sort of like put the words out, the emotion out. When he said he's going to pick up his gun, and it was just like the sort of intonation of his voice. I mean, you can see why they were such masterful artists.
Yeah.
Despite their shortcomings or downfall. So yeah, I was great.
absolutely fantastic. And I mean, typically Irish. I mean,
Well, typically Irish doing an Australian song written by a Scotsman.
apart from that,
I'd say so. Apart from that.
oh dear me.
You're right.
I'm going to take up the
We need
tin
some
whistle.
more watermelon.
I'm gonna more cappuccino watermelon, please, and take up the tin whistle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what have we got coming up tomorrow? Can you see?
Day four, yeah.
Don't just tell me if it's a good one or bad one.
Actually, it's one I don't know at all.
Oh, well, that narrows it down.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you like and subscribe.
It's great. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Bad. We're fucking shit at this. Like and subscribe for something we don't know tomorrow. But it's Irish.
But we got notes. We're going to have notes, and it's Irish. We know that, and it's day 4.
See you tomorrow. Ciao.
See ya.
Ciao. That's Italian.
Watermelon.
Cappuccino.